So I'm going to talk a little bit about my portfolio. I'm going to talk about my expectations of this class and how I felt about it coming in and whatnot, and my expectations of Clover Park a little bit. And then I'm going to talk about the good fortune and skills that this class has given me, which I think will sum everything up quite well. So I'll go through some of my speeches. My first speech was on Tony Robbins, and I believe that I went way over the top on it. I wanted to come in here with a big bang and talk about nobody I've even heard of before. I just got on the internet and typed in, public speaking or speaking, and found Tony Robbins and learned as much as I could about him. Didn't read any books or do any interviews or anything like that. But I learned quite a bit, and it was a lot of fun to do. And so I tried to mimic his actions, like being all crazy and moving all over the place. And then as soon as I reviewed the video, oh man, I wanted to shrivel up and die. It's like, I can't believe everybody saw me do that. That was pretty cool. And then for our demonstration speech, I did the handshake, and that was just totally cool, I had Rick as my visual representation. And somebody put on a rubric that I didn't have any visuals. But that's a load, because I had Rick up here doing all sorts of fun stuff. He did a great job. That's just not fair. But I felt I did really good on that one. I really liked that speech. And I lucked out too, because I had everybody stand up and shake hands with each other, and everyone was having so much fun that the buzzer went off and nobody heard it. So I had an opportunity to finish my speech even though I went over on time. That was awesome. That was really cool. And then my third speech, which was totally lame. I felt that it was totally lame. It was on oil or past speeches, and for about a half hour the night before, at 12:30 at night, right after I got off work, I sat down and started preparing for my speech, instead of starting a week ahead of time. So naturally the speech was really lame. I was totally uncomfortable. I didn't have any sort of reading or studying or preparation. I was all nervous and saying all sorts of ums and everything, and it really didn't make me feel very good at all. I don't ever want to do that again. But it happened again. And then my number 4 speech, Why You Should Hire Me, was totally cool. Started out with some cool numbers from the United States Census Bureau. That was a lot of fun. I felt that I did really good on that one. And right at the end, when I wrote the final number, I can't remember what it is now, but it was one number less than what the currently unemployed rate is. As soon as I wrote that, the buzzer went off, so that was perfect timing. It's pretty neat. I don't know, did anybody else like that speech too?
Yeah.
Because I like to hear good things about myself, so I don't worry about it.
Here you go.
That was a lot of fun. And then my life community speeches. That was a winger. I didn't prep much for that one either. But I saw 3 life community speeches, but I didn't fill out my critiques until after the speech. So I could barely even remember anything. I did that last night for my portfolio, which I don't even know why. It was really fun to do that speech. It was cool to talk about John Wallstrom and Conrad Ball and Kevin Thompson, some guy who runs an electrical company that we saw at a restaurant. That was pretty neat. I saw that I wasn't that bad at speaking, watching that Kevin Thompson, man. He was the most unorganized person I've ever seen. Just scrambling with all his stuff and losing his notes and, oh, where's my notes? Looking for it. You heard all about that in the speech. That was pretty cool. Made me build a lot of confidence in speaking. And then the parrot speech was awesome. Julie and I did a great job. I feel best about that speech than any other speech that I've done, was the one I did with Julie. And we prepped for just a couple hours the night before. We did a great job. That was really cool. For some reason, it worked, Yeah, I felt that we had some good chemistry going there. I need to watch that one. It was a good speech. So I'm going to talk about my expectations of this class. I've touched lightly on this in my intro. And like I said, I wanted to come in here and just breeze right through it, get it over with. I came back to school to learn about CNC programming. That's why I'm here. I want to buy a machine, start a business, make parts, make money. I really wasn't focused on getting a degree at all. I signed up for the class. I wasn't shooting for that goal whatsoever. And then my dad says, well, hey, Mel, well, while you're there at school, you might as well take the other classes and get a degree. And I'm like thinking, oh, I don't know. Is it really going to do me any good? This extra time's going to be more stressful. So before I even started school, I've had this plan that I'm going to go to school, and I talked to my instructor for the longer class that I take during the day, and he agreed with me that I can come half days and just try to blow through the program at the same speed as the rest of the students, and that way I can work in the rest of the time. Well, I found it too valuable to be at school, so I didn't go with that. But I still had my business, which was growing. I've been running it for 2 years now, and I've been at Clover Park for almost a year and a half. And I keep getting more and more business, and things keep growing, and things change, and I'm a father, and it's just been a lot of fun, but really busy, but it's all been worth it. And so when I came into this class, those expectations weren't fulfilled, that I could just blow right through here and breeze through and not even try and get the grade and go. But I'm really glad I came to this class, and I'm really glad I stuck through it as much as I could, because it's been a fantastic learning experience. It's really been a pleasure. So I'm going to move on to what I've received from this class, the good fortune and skills that it's given me. And I'm going to use my business as an example. The business is called Terrell Induction, and I port cylinder heads for race cars, primarily imports. So you see those Hondas with those lame wings on the back of it, they look like they're ready to fly off into space, and they sound retarded, like all over the place. I hate those cars, but you know, they get their heads ported and I make money with it, so go for it, you know. But it's been slow going, and whenever I would go to shops, when I first started, I'd sit there and I'd bring an example to somebody, you know, who would use my services, and I'd say, hi, my name's Matt Terrell, and this is what I do. Right here, here you go. And then I have to sit there and grab something in order to not shake, you know. And then look at me. Are you serious, dude? Do you really want me to give you money to grind on my cylinder heads? But they would anyway, because it looked really good. And it turns out that it's a niche market. So I lucked out with that program. But being in class and learning about public speaking, I go in there and say, my name is Matt Terrell, nice to meet you. Shake their hand. I'm totally confident. I practice what I'm going to say before I go. I think about different questions they might be asking and rehearse different answers and try to structure the things I say instead of just bouncing all over the place. And it's been really cool. I've been really enjoying it.